Hey, what is up, guys? It's your boy Ed from Ceviche. You already know. Today's video is going to be a Swordsoul Tenyi DPE deck profile that I've been working on. I've been playing this out for like a couple of weeks now at locals. It's a 50 count card deck. It's actually really good. I really enjoy it. I've topped a couple of times here at locals. And it's a deck profile that I kind of want you guys to maybe try out if you guys are available to try it out. I think it's a really, really good deck. It's a lot of fun. But let's go ahead and get into the deck profile. Before we continue with this video, make sure you guys check out my new sponsor, Dank Ritual Playmats. They have amazingly beautiful, high quality, 2-player cloth mats, which come in various colors. You guys can also get 10% off with coupon code Ceviche10. Make sure you guys check them out. All right, guys, starting with the deck profile, we're going to go ahead and start off with, you already know, you have to have 3 Ecclesias. I think this deck actually really needs the Ecclesias to be able to play really well. Going second is just such a good card. Going first, it takes you out of a break in case you don't open up any of your starters, which are the Moyis or the Taiyes, right? Continuing with 3 Moyis, 3 Longyang, but only 2 Taiyé. These are all the Swordsoul monsters that we play. We try to almost max out as much as possible without having to play the third Taiyé. I've actually always really considered playing a third Taiyé. I've never really, committed to. I've never really done it, but for now, 2 Taiyés works really well. This is the lineup that I've actually been playing for a couple of weeks now. I've topped with it a couple of times, so I think that the lineup is really good. I really always want to try playing a third Taiyé, but I just never commit to it. I honestly never just pull the trigger, which I really should. Continuing with all the Tenyi monsters that we play, of course, 3 Ashina, 3 Arhara, but only 2 Vishuddha and 1 Shatana. I don't know, I kind of wanted to max out as well on this and play the 3rd Vishuddha, but the thing is that I don't feel like, I just don't like playing Vishuddha like that. Like, Vishuddha is a really good card. They can get me out. And yes, 2 Tenyis are almost always like full combo, or a Tenyi and a Vessel are always full combo. But I just don't want to max out on the Vishuddhas because there's just so many other cards that we need to play. Of course, you can always sub out a Vishuddha for like any one other hand trap in this deck, and I will show you guys all the hand traps next. So let's go ahead and continue. I only play 1 Nib, 1 Effect Veiler, which is definitely one of the cards that you can definitely cut to play the 3rd Vishuddha if you really wish. But I play then 2 Drolls, I play 2 Ogres, and 2 Ash. These are all the hand traps that I play. Of course, there are spells and traps in here that I do play as hand traps, like droplets and imperms, but we'll get to those later. These are the monster hand traps that I do play. These are a really good lineup. I would actually always side these out in case like I'm playing opponents that they don't really do anything against. I only believe in the 2 of, so even in my side deck I have 1 and 1. I don't have like more of these in my side deck. I just don't believe in that. I like playing a bunch of 2s and continuing with the game. I don't want to open up like 3 Ash, or like even the possibility of like 2 Ash, 2 Ogres, and then that's actually has happened before. Which is the crazy thing. For the last couple of monsters, like I said, I do play the DPE package, and I also play the Aurora Dawn package. So for that same reason, you got to play the Dasher, the Celestial, and the 001. I don't understand. I kind of understand and see why other people play like the Mali and then like the other guy, right? Which is fine. It's not really that big of an issue, but it's just like for this deck, you kind of really want to have that draw engine sometimes where you can just like draw with Celestial, banish both of these. I've actually been a Madman before, and when I knew that I was going to OTK, I had a Celestial and I think my DPE in the graveyard, so I banished both of them, drew 2 other combo pieces, and then just continued to OTK, which was actually a Madman move. You guys should not do that, but I risked it and it paid off. Continuing with the spells, of course I do play the 3 Emergence, because why would you not play 3 Rhoda? If you have the ability to play 3 Rhoda, you play 3 Rhoda. And then this is a Monster Reborn. why would you not play a searchable monster reborn? I've seen a lot of people really cut this and not play it because they're like, oh, it's not a good card, or this and that. What if you open with it? Well, what if you open with it? You know, like, I've had situations where, like, of course, my hands have been really weird, and I will describe to you guys a hand that's happened to me a lot, and I'm not even gonna lie, this actually does happen a lot, where, like, I open up, like, a Moyi, if not an Ecclesia, and then a Tenyi, and a Long Young. As crazy as it is, yes, that is a 3-card combo, and you should not rely this card for a 3-card combo, but that happens a lot. Or the ability to where you can sub 1 card for one of those cards, right? Like I said, like maybe an Ecclesia for something else, or something else for something else, right? But the crazy thing is that if you open up, let's say, the Ecclesia, the Long Young, and the Tenyi, because that happens like a lot. I have like Moyi's effect, well, Ecclesia normal, switch out Moyi, you reveal Moyi, you get your Shishao, you get your draw off of your Moyi, right? And then you still have your Long Young and you have your Tenyi. With the Shishao, you search off this, and then you go Long Young, discard Tenyi, you special summon, you get the token, now you get your negate, right? And then after that, you go here, you special out Tenyi, you special out something else. Maybe you can make like a Baxia and then something else to like negate your opponent's board. Or most of the time I'll go for like a Dragite, I'm not even gonna lie. And then you still have like your Foolish off of Tenyi, right? But that's normally something that I really do a lot. I actually really like doing that. One of the things that also gets me there is this. So like any one except for Adhara, any one Tenyi monster plus this gets me that full combo to where I can literally end on a board where I have Auroradon on top, I can have Shishao, I can have Long Young, the new Synchro monster, right? And then I can also have like a Dragite on the board, which is a spell negate, a monster negate, and then you can have like a burn and a burn, right? And that's a lot of interruption on your opponent's turn. Let's say they just like set a card or something because like you actually burned them for a spell, you burned them for a special summon, you negated a monster, you negated a spell. That's 4 interruptions, and then they just set 1 and pass, maybe with 1 card in hand. Then on your turn, you can just go Auroradon, tribute itself, and then pop their card. And you kind of clearly have a clear board to just swing because you've already burned them for 12 on your turn, 24 on their turn, so they're 3600, and then you just go pew, 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 pew. You poke and you win, right? Continuing, DPE package, only the 2 ofs, that's all you really need. Continuing with the 3 droplets, 3 crossouts, call by. Crossout comes up a lot. Like I'm not even gonna like deny it. Crossout is a really good card and it comes up a lot. Double imperm and blackout. Like honestly, on a mirror match, like it's really hard to know what you want to stop with this unless it's like hand traps. So like you definitely want to stop hand traps, but then there's like all the other possibilities of what they can use to get to where they need to be. Like this is definitely a good card to stop as for Ash, or if not, you're just gonna go ahead and have to cross it out. Droplets, unless they actually make a board, then you won't need to make the droplets. One of the things that I want to talk about is that a lot of people haven't realized that going on a mirror match, you might want to always go second. I think it's really good because this deck can actually really break boards. And if you just break boards and then you OTK, you kind of have the game. Or you break boards, you set up your own boards, you don't let them do anything, you're kind of chilling. Sorry about that camera shake. For the extra deck, you have the 3 monks, los monjes. Monks too good. I really played 3. I think that I've run into a lot of grindy matches because like my matches get really grindy sometimes to where I need to have the 3rd monk, call me a scrubber or whatever. I just think monk is too good. Needle Fiver, Auroradon, Verde, only monsters here. Can't make these to that, so keep that in mind, guys. But you can have like this, you bring out 001, and then maybe whatever the situation is, maybe you make this next or whatever. I've actually have done that before to where I just go from here to here and then go for game if I already have like whatever I need in my hand for a normal summon. Because to make this, you really just need this and like an Alhara. So that does not require any normal summons whatsoever. Then you can go from this to this to that. you link summon it, you have that, and then you just go Moyi. You continue with the rest of your combo. You could still end on Moyi Longyang. I'm sorry, not Moyi, Shishao Longyang, and then you can have like Dragite, and then you can go for that at the very end without ever locking yourself out to only worms, right? DPE, because DPE, of course. I only play one Yazi and double Shishao with only one Baxia. This is what I was going to talk about. I actually had those switched. One Yazi, one Baxia, double Shishao. I actually don't ever come across a situation where I now need to have a second Baxia. And I've actually came to that conclusion that I don't ever need a second Baxia. So because I don't ever need it, I just skip over it. The other Yangzing monster, Xiao Fang, I actually cite that. So there's not a lot of decks that are playing light monster decks right now. So it's just like, I don't necessarily need to go from here to the Xiao Fang, you know? It's only really if I'm going to play around like Nib or something, which is sometimes not my linear combo, because if I open up 2 Tenyis, I don't want to open this up and then make a Shishao. So then like that, I don't get nibbed. No, I'm always going to go for the Auroradon combo. So honestly, the second Baxia doesn't come up because I don't ever need to sacrifice the first one. So therefore, because this is always my first line of play and that's only a second line of play, I would only leave that for like whenever I actually need it instead of having to sacrifice it. Dragite, because Dragite is actually really good. And then the funny thing is that when I do side in that second nib, there's actually times where I'll attempt to do it, the actual Adamascipator effect, to reveal any rocks. And I've actually successfully done it 3 times already. 3 times. I've bounced one of these. I've bounced just a bunch of stuff, which is pretty funny because people are like, yeah, you know, you only play like 1 or 2 nibs, whatever, maybe even 3 nibs, and they're like, yeah, you're not gonna hit it, and then I'll actually hit it. Funniest thing in the world. Of course, Supreme, the Longyang, and the Floor. It's so cool playing this deck. This is a lot of fun. I think this deck is super flexible. One of the things is that I go into this a lot more than this now, because this card is just so much stronger than that. I don't understand why people actually paid like $100+ for this card whenever this card was like $3, and you could just play that instead of that now. You don't even need to play this card. You can literally sub this out for like a second Baxia if you want to be that person, or then you play like the other Tenyi Synchro monster. And yeah, I also don't play that, which is, I think, really funny. I think that my lineup is really good. I think that the monsters that I'm playing and the stuff that I'm playing here is actually really, really good. I play to try to be able to, like, if I need to grind, and if I don't need to grind, I just play. These are my tokens. You already know my Auroradon tokens. This is mostly always my blackout token. This is always like my Longyang, Taiye, and what was the other one? Moyi token. And then this is my nib token. Of course, sometimes I'm playing and I'll just grab whatever token is on top and I'll just put it on top. I like these tokens a lot. Thank you guys all for watching. This was your boy Ed from Elite Beach. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I really want to get this video to a couple of good likes. Let's see if you guys actually enjoy this profile. I will be uploading a lot more in the future already. I've kind of had a really rough week with work. So I've been like kind of pushing uploading a little bit back, but I will be uploading a lot more consistent again. So I'll see you guys on the next videos.